Please stand as the family enters and their words in front of Tammy Skinner. Welcome to the celebration of life for our beloved Tammy Skinner. Laughing, clapping, stomping, singing, and dancing in the aisles is not only permitted, it is encouraged. Tammy wanted so. At the family's request, the cast of Bryant Star, one of Tammy's favorite musicals, will now perform To Give You My Story. Some years after I met Tammy, we realized that we grew up on the same geography, small town Cobb County, when there was such a thing as small town Cobb County. Just offset by a number of years. These ladies are some of Tammy's school-age chums, the girls.
I'll try not to ugly cry. I'd like to introduce this special group of ladies. Sometimes we refer to ourselves as the yayas, but most of the time we call ourselves the girls and truly lifelong friends. We've been friends for 43 years as a whole, and some of us longer than that. When we tell people how long we've all been friends, some just can't believe it. That just doesn't happen. Tammy was part of this special friendship bond that we aren't quite sure what we're going to do with this hope that we have now. My name is Sheila, and I felt a calling to speak today because I've known Tammy the longest out of all of us. And I want to give you a little bit of background on our friendships and how we all met and bonded together. I met Tammy the first day in first grade. I remember the dress she had on. And I was quite jealous of that dress because it was pink and orange and she had this really cool chain belt. I remember the fabric it was made out of. We bonded immediately. And my sister Laura and Tammy's older brother Tom were in 5th grade together. And they would talk on the phone. And in first grade, Tammy and I thought it was really cool. We got to talk to each other. I remember spending the night at her house on Center Street in Mapleton, and she at my house. We played nonstop parties, babies, school, all the things that little girls do. When her dad was diagnosed with cancer when we were in the 4th grade, she and I would make up dances and perform for him as he was resting. Tammy's parents bought a new house the year that we started the middle school. And we were devastated that we weren't going to be going to the same school. This didn't take away from our friendship though. We called each other almost every day after school and talked about the new friends we were making and the things that we did. And this is how this story began with this special group of ladies. I had made new friends with Lori and Heidi, and she had made new friends with Melinda and Shannon. Laura is my sister, and all my friends loved my bigger sister. They thought she was the coolest. Well, luckily, when we all started high school, we all went to school together, and the rest is history. We have so many stories during high school and beyond. Of course, there's some that I can't tell. And our parents thought that Laura could be our chaperone to concerts, to the beach, so Lord, if they had only known. We've been through a lot of life events with each other, good and bad. We've experienced weddings, our children, our grandchildren, the loss of a child, the loss of a spouse, the loss of parents, and the loss of a sibling. And we stood by each other all the way. I know one of us could pick up the phone any time of the day or night, and any one of us ladies would be there for each other. God sure had a plan when He brought us together. We are entwined in such a way that we can almost finish each other's sentences and know what the other is thinking. Tammy was such a blessing to our group. She always had a way of keeping us keeping it real and making us laugh. She always knew when it was her time to take charge and say, "Come on, girls. This is what we're going to do." Or say, "You really aren't going to do that, are you?" She would also be honest with us and say, "You need to do something with your hair, or you're not going to wear that, are you?" Our hearts are broken, and there will always be an empty spot in our group. But our faith will keep us going, and we know Tammy is right here with us. And she would tell us to continue this bond, even though it's going to be as difficult as it is. I want to finish with a poem that is very near and dear to our hearts. It's very special to us for many different reasons. And it's called "Thank You, Friend." I never came to you, my friend, and went away without some new enrichment of the heart, more faith and less of doubt, more courage for the days ahead than often in great need. Coming to you, I went away, comforted indeed. How can I find the shining words, the glowing phrase that tells all that your love has meant to me, all that your friendship spells? There is no word, no phrase for you, on whom I so depend. All I can say to you is this: God bless you, precious friend. Bill, Charlie, Annalie, thank you so much for giving us the time to speak and to share our friendship with our special people.
Tammy joined the Lakeview Academy family in 2001. She immediately bonded with Martin Lipold, a middle school science teacher, longtime friend, and accomplice.
As you came in today, I know you took a peek and you enjoyed taking a little look at Tammy and all of her treasures that you saw up there. Tammy is a treasure hunter. She loves little boxes. You can open the box and find a little treat inside, a little prize that she would like for people to see. Oh, it was jewelry that had a little box that you could put something in. That was even better. She was such a treasure hunter that she went on official relic hunts and looking for Civil War Indian relics, and she was the proud owner of her very own metal detector. She would find little treasures out when she was going for a walk, you know, a special rock that was shaped in a certain way, or she would find a flower or a pretty leaf. And she was especially good at treasure hunting when she was looking for a coffee shop. She could find one of those anywhere, even in Spain or Egypt. Years ago, 6 Lakeview ladies and our 6 kids packed up and took a trip to Aida Beach. I'm sure you can picture it. The 6 kids are out swimming. The ladies are sitting around in our little group, and we're all there soaking up the sun except Tammy. So, where's Tammy? Oh, there she is. She's down there looking for shark's teeth along the water's edge. She's searching for treasures. Oh, we looked later. She's befriended this old man in a big hat, and she's using his metal detector. That's the guy that Tammy found the treasure that man that day. As Clay told you, that Tammy and her family came to Lakeview during Charlie's 6th grade year. Now she's been involved in the Lakeview family in lots of different roles that you'll hear about. But when she joined the middle school faculty, we really grew and developed our friendship. She taught middle school, world history, and social studies, mostly to 6th and 7th graders. Her favorite thing to teach was ancient cultures, especially Egypt. She encouraged her students to explore these cultures and develop their interests by creating independent projects. You should have seen the students building pyramids out of sugar cubes and dressing as ancient kings and queens, complete with full-on Cleopatra makeup in the middle of a school day, even decorating themselves with henna tattoos that weren't really tattoos, but they were beautiful. I remember the weekend that there was a group that was working on their Egypt project, and Tammy texted me, sending me copies of this hilarious text exchange that she had with Drew Hayes. Apparently, Drew Hayes thought that it would be a good idea to mummify a chicken. And Tammy's panicking, what are they doing? They're packing this chicken in salt and doing this mummification. Well, it turns out it was actually a beanie baby chicken. But it was a hilarious text conversation. And she just pushed those kids to explore and find their passion and laugh while they were doing so. Our friendship really developed when we were teaching middle school together. She was the Laverne to my Shirley. She got me, this uptight rule follower, to relax a little and laugh at myself. She helped me learn to live my life a little bolder and a lot larger. She would send students to my class and hand me some random object, like a plain napkin, and just to remind me of an inside joke. And she would very kindly point out something dumb that I had said and done. One Disney trip, a perfect Tammy moment. I'm standing up on the bench in charge of all these 7th graders, trying to get them to toe the line, to do what they need to do, giving them instructions. Well, Tammy's in the back, and she's got all the parents and all the adults back there gathered up, telling stories. They're laughing, they're turning and looking at me, so, kind of giving me a lot of a complex. Well, she's telling all these parents that this serious person who's in charge of the group about how I maybe slipped up a little bit and giving instructions to the kids that might have included a little adult language. And so, it kind of helped me loosen up to realize that they were laughing at me. She kept me from taking myself too seriously. But it was a two-way relationship. I had to help her sometimes loosen up a little bit. I taught her that sometimes kids just pass gas in her classroom. And it's not a personal insult to her. I remember trying to convince her that she really shouldn't have been that mad at that boy just because he had a look on his face. Tammy and I developed Treasure as our code name for a student who was really getting on our last nerve. So, remember that kid who got sent out of class for passing gas? He was a real treasure. That group of boys that she rode to and from the bus to Disney World, just boys, for 9 hours there and back, they were real treasures. But, Tammy really did find that treasure hidden inside all of her students. She wholeheartedly felt like everyone she encountered had some treasure hidden within. And she spent so much time really listening to people and helping them find that treasure in themselves. She offered advice when it was appropriate, but really she just listened actively to everyone who came through her door. Let me think about those treasures. Let's be on the lookout for those treasures. We can find treasures every day like Tammy in a sparkly rock, or a shark's tooth, or a great pair of new shoes, or that extra coffee from Starbucks, flat white, extra shot. Let's be on the lookout for the treasures that are found in each other and help others feel treasured. And most importantly, let's make the time to share those treasures with each other the way Tammy shared her treasures with us. Thank you.
This event was put together by a large segment of the Lakeview Academy family, directed by Tammy's longtime friend, confidant, and co-conspirator in all things traumatic, Cece Conrath.
Speaking of heels, I wore these today for Tammy Skinner because she loved them so much. So, this dress I wore to Jordan Harrison's wedding just back in November. We had a great time. I see so many of you that were there from Charlie's class, but just for so many people that knew her and loved her. And Bill didn't mind, but I was their third wheel that night while he had something to do. And he never complained about this person who hung with them, and I appreciate that. The third wheel was always a fun thing with you two. I don't really know where to start, so she was just so much to so many. She knew how to see the best in everyone. Let me put my glasses on, I just realized. But she also knew how to call your ass out too. Yes, I said a bad word. She said them too. Here's a writing that she and I try to live by and teach by, so I wanted to share it with you today. It's called Beatitudes for the Weird. Blessed are the weird people, poets, misfits, writers, and believe. Mystics, heretics, painters, and troubadours, Charlie and Bill. Blessed are those who embrace the intensity of life's pain and pleasure, for they shall be rewarded with uncommon ecstasy. Blessed are ye who see beauty in ugliness, for you shall transform our vision of how the world might be. Blessed are the bold and whimsical, for their inspiration shatters ancient boundaries of fear for us all. Blessed are ye who reach for unbridled expressions of love in all its forms, because your kind of crazy is exactly the freedom for which this world is unconsciously begging. Blessed are those who've endured breaking, hardship, going through life, because they are the resplendent oracles through which all of our light shines. And that was something that just spoke to me because we used it in some of the things that we would write. Because we were misfits and we are misfits, and isn't that a wonderful thing? I look around this room and I say, Tammy reached to all kinds of people, and that is super special. She took the misfit in all of us and glorified it. She taught us history and made it real and relevant. She taught us theater in middle school. How many of y'all had Miss Skinner in middle school? Raise your hands high, because she got something really special, really special. She gave kids their first love of the arts, and then they continued on, and she supported them through everything, and I'm talking outside of school, after they graduated, and she supported us as adults as well. She traveled with us and made sure that we gained a new perspective on the world. She also made sure we were in our rooms when we were supposed to be. She sat in her office and listened to wild stories, shared our joys and wiped our tears, and gave us a good dose of reality in the process. In order to really tell you what Tammy meant to all of us, I don't want to talk about what she meant to me because she and I know where that is, and I know her family and I share that. I sent out a text and a letter to others and asked for some of our faculty and some of our students, past and present, to just tell me some words about Tammy because I felt like that's what you might want to hear today. So these are some of those that they shared. One thing that made Tammy so special to all of us is how she was willing to trust us. Even though she knew we were young and still had so much to learn, she treated us like adults. And that was really affirming. I know that for me and probably lots of other kids, all we really needed sometimes was for someone just to acknowledge that though we might still be kids, our thoughts and opinions were both valid and important. Another person said, and this is like long only because I procrastinated, because I was kind of busy, so I just screenshotted a lot of things, so sorry if I keep turning pages. Another person said, anytime I decided to slip out of the store for art supplies, Tammy would always make sure that she would stop to get me Starbucks for her. It always had to be that tall, flat white with an extra shot. And I hope Christy Bear doesn't mind, and Martha, but we want to ask you guys to do something that we're all going to do from now on. When you go to Starbucks and they ask you what your name is, say Tammy. Because they're going to write it on that cup, and it's going to make you smile. And yes, I don't care if you're male, still say Tammy. They'll still look at you funny, but that's okay. Tammy loves all of Lakeview. Isn't it fitting that we're here today, in this space that she loves so much, and that she cared and did so much? Whether you were in her classes or not, she was as comfortable watching a soccer game as she was directing a show or organizing May Day or Grandparents' Day or candlelight or all the other things that she did. She loved with a heart that many of us just will never do. Tammy was the first one that convinced me to be involved in theater in middle school and continued to push me on to cultivate clearly what she saw as something I enjoyed. I think this is what I love most about Miss Skinner. She put a first determination and intense joy into everything she did. And this attitude has surely seeped into not only the way I learned and trained, but the way I live my life. Another person says, Miss Skinner taught me how to have confidence on and off stage. She taught me about the world, and I wouldn't be anywhere near the person I am today without her. Another person who just simply could not be here today wrote something on social media, and it was beautiful, so I wanted to make sure I shared it. I don't think any of us ever thought of Miss Skinner as a teacher. When I would talk about her to other people, I would always just say that she was my friend. A friend is someone you eat lunch with every day. It's someone you can tell anything to and feel completely comfortable doing so. Miss Skinner was the type of friend that made you feel like the most important person in the world. She was never too busy to sit down with you and talk for hours, as long as you brought her that tall, flat white from Starbucks. Do we have a pattern here? Yes. Miss Skinner, we all love you so much. You gave us confidence, and you understood us. You celebrated our quirks, and you taught us what our strengths were. You are a blessing to everyone we knew. It's time to get it out. Tammy Skinner is someone who meant the world to me. I can't think of anyone who had an influence on me like her. She was the one real teacher who genuinely saw something in me. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is one of our treasures / could be misfit that wrote this. But he is special. A lot of people viewed me as cogs in the machine, but not her. When faculty believed me to be troubled, she came to my defense. No one else ever worked as hard as she did. She didn't view me as this, she viewed me as a human being. A lot of my most happy memories of high school centered in her office. There's no one like her. She taught me honesty and humanity. My heart goes out to her family and to Emily. The impact she left will be remembered fondly by all of us. I just wish I'd had the chance to tell her thank you for viewing me as a person. She probably made fun of me for crying like a baby, but I just miss her so damn much from the bottom of my heart. I love you, Tim. One other wrote, you were the ray of light that got me through one of my darkest parts of my life. Many don't know, but Tammy gave me a job when I was unemployed, feeling lower than low, and is the one who brought me back to life. Wow, what a statement. You brought me in, let me teach, let me learn, and just listened. You loved me for me. I loved you for you. The time we had together in high school and after high school, and up to today, will always be treasured. You loved Charlie, Emily, and Bill more than life itself. I've never met a person who celebrated every part of their child's and their partner's lives so much. It was always exciting. I'm so grateful you brought me into that. And you reminded me every day of the love you had for them, for me, for your students, for Cece, and for so many. Don't take any BS. Love fiercely, and remember who you are. 3 of the many things you taught me that will stay with me forever. A piece of you will be with me forever. A piece of my heart is gone. Rest easy, my gold dust woman. I love you and miss you more than you'll ever know. Thank you for everything. One of our faculty stated, Tammy truly knew how to walk into a room and assess the situation and make it work for everyone. Another said, you were my second mama. Thanks for sharing her with us, Annalie, Charlie, and Bill. And then Tammy's boys. Oh, the shenanigans they tortured her with. Skinner Diaz, lunch bunch, hiding the yum-yum sauce, changing her wallpaper to very inappropriate things on her computer, and so many other things. She truly loved you. On Europe trips, she never went through security until the last person did in the airports. At night, she didn't go to bed until all the kids were present and accounted for. But she was so fun on trips. Our leader, our caretaker, and the one who made us laugh and learn all there was to learn. She loved us hard and made us laugh. And then just a few statements really quickly, because I know I'm talking long, but there's so much. I can't write it all down because so many people send me so much. Mondays, lessons, it's a small world to help us all. Cookie cake, you know she loved it. Shoes, Sharon Schaefer's necklaces. Cool vests, wraps, and kimonos. Skinner Diaz and Gossip Girl lunches in their office. Jam sessions with Little Feet, Sting, Nickel Creek, The Stones, Titus Burgess, and Hamilton. Our love of so many people. Drama mamas, papas, and kiddos. Travel, history, all of the wonderful things that she did. Honesty, even when it was hard. Tech Week, oh my gosh. All of our things that we did, and cutting greenery and flowers, sorry, from all the Lakeview plants and putting them in our offices because they were really pretty. The beach, the moon, sunsets and mountains, pyramids and bridges. Our fine arts team, the ones that clicked, the ones that didn't, and the ones that were just right and right now. Your calls to check on me when I was down, even though you didn't understand it. Your non-judgmental support and your encouragement and how many times you saved me. Brass players and guitar players and guys with bikes. How you have been a champion to all of us. The hating cheaters, hypocrites, liars, and arrogant SOBs. Fat girl, death, and crack mix. If you don't know what those are, you need to. Soccer games and theater performances. Your bird legs and my hippo ones. We love Lakeview for so many reasons, but part of it is because we have K-3 through 12th grade here, and we love the little ones coming down our hallway, and so Tammy and I would just get so excited. All of us go out. Mr. Harris has a whole thing he does with them. But this sweet girl, and I'll never forget her, Tammy was wearing some shirt, and it had written up. And I know her name, but I won't say it. And she said, oh, Miss Skinner, you don't want to show your belly like that. So we friends to each other, and we would say, oh, I'll show your belly like that. Succulents, wildflowers, and all the things natural. Essential oils and a signature blend. Love, friendship, sisterhood, and bonds that can't be broken. Before I end, I have just a quote from a song that we would jam to all the time. It's kind of crazy, and we loved it. She and I shared a love for Little Feet, the band, and we had a song that's called Trouble. Some of you may know it, but I'm going to do a little quote here. It says, you yelled hey when your car wouldn't start, so you got real angry, and you tried to eat your heart out. Now you're so fat, your shoes don't fit on your feet, you got trouble. And it's tailor-made, so mama lay your head down in the shade, because your eyes are tired, and your feet are too, and you wish the world was as tired as you. To close my part, I really thought long and hard, and I felt blessed that Bill and the kids asked me to organize and choose music. Because what they trusted me with was something special. We chose to open and close today with songs from Bright Star, which was one of her favorite shows. She just loved it. But I've known her since she first became a part of the Drama Mamas and her involvement in her first Lakeview shows. So I hope you don't mind, family, if you can indulge me in something we prepared for you. It's one extra song that we want to share as a surprise and a gift to you. She and I have blast this about once a month since 2008. a long time, and it's from one of her favorite musicals, and it's the setting from one of her favorite places. So we have alumni and current students who are going to come help us sing the God's Love Media from the musical Aida.
Take me, my dreams recurring, cheerful lights, a childhood dance, into one more taste of freedom. One more longing, backward glance, this way, song of music, I shall never, never understand. Let me slip into the sweet air. The beautiful
Dr. John Kennedy, headmaster of Lakeview Academy.
Okay, you follow Cece and then that. And then you look at your program, it's really neat.
Dear incredibly friends here, and then headmaster. So I guess I need to start with, can y'all hear me up there?
I think your battery died.
I can yell.
Is that what we're looking number 5? You know this out.
Give it a try.
Every once in a while, I think God tells me to sit back down. I'll give you the third time to charge. No, it's not working.
This one is.
Maybe they want you to talk and not me. So again, let's just start this back out. After every great Shakespearean scene like this speech up there is comic relief, so I think that's me. Again, look at the program. I'm listed as headmaster. However, I think there is a reason for that. It's not why Bill called me and asked me to speak. It is because if you didn't see what's up here, and you didn't realize what Tammy has been part of, and why Tammy was charged by me to move to be the fine arts director because of her great talent, it was one of the best decisions I've made. You look at it with 5 one-act plays in a row, single A, that's Cece. You go to the arts, Quinlan, visual arts, we win 3 in a row, first prize, and all these other schools do that. Kids playing soccer, doing 20 other things. She moved the schedule around because she knew that if Ann Lee had given that game up in that state tournament, they would all be gone because the play was happening next week. Now you didn't really give it up. I think it was Emma Reinhardt, is what I'm saying. And she understood the school, but the success our fine arts has had, literary, has just been killing it, and she'll pull kids out of the woodwork to participate, and that is the headmaster part. Bill asked me here because I was a friend, and it was our first year here, and we went to see Charlie play it blind, and Bill went up and just tore it up on the harmonica. We got to hang out in the alley, in downtown Gainesville. Woo-hoo! And I got to know these folks. That continued on going to AFFest. And was like, oh, Charlie's coming in and doing that, and I think, y'all probably still paying that food bill, if I heard right. But we're there, and Charlie, you got to tell me about belly dancing, because I get the other guy, is that you? That's the best part of the whole thing. So they're all eating food, they're paying money, and everybody, I had my niece and her boyfriend who's been there, this band is special, it's the biggest thing. I think it's belly dancing. Charlie was good, and then to Bill and I, Tammy and Kristen, going to see Lucinda Williams in Decatur, and just talking about things that people talk about. And Tammy never had that line. It wasn't that I was the headmaster. Again, I'll be talking about her printing this program, special friend, best friend at restaurant. It wasn't our relationship. Tammy never did. We could sit there on Saturday night, listen to Lucinda, just enjoying it. And on Monday, she'd come in and have a business conversation about how much Cece went over budget on her play. And we'd sit there going, you gotta be kidding me. And Tammy can handle all of that. But I think our relationship, Kristen, actually, this is funny. This could have been a really funny talk. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today. Bill called me, and so I'm like, let's go do it. Let's have that amnesia, anesthesia, and me and a microphone. One of my last events here, be all part of that. And Kristen's like, that's not a good idea. We came here in 2009, we interviewed. Kristen got to meet the teachers, and he talked about Martha Tammy in middle school. We were literally, I could be yelling at any school all over the country. So we were looking for a place where our children would be the greatest place for them to come. And Chris made this decision. But it was Tammy and Mark, she was talking about this middle school faculty and all this stuff. And literally, we brought this shy kid here. And in 3 years, I mean, Tammy's coming up to me and says, "Hey, William Stolper, tell me what you just told Hayes." And William said, look, you know William, fabulous artist, fabulous actor, said, "Dr. Kennedy, I'm so happy I'm making your son into a woman." And the great thing is, like, yeah, thank you. That's what. I love it. That's Tammy. It took so many shy kids that did that. But we talked to Egypt early on, and she was going there when we interviewed. When we got here, she had been. And it's neat to see the picture of Feli and the picture of the pyramid. And she asked me what Chris and I's favorite thing up there was. And we'd gone to a place, you go west of Alexandria. We taught school at Alexandria, Egypt, for those who don't know, before we had children. And you go west of Marshall True and Cleopatra's back there. You go south to Seawood. It's an oasis in the middle of the western desert. There's nothing there. And then you come upon this lush place. And there's a temple of Amun that Alexander the Great traveled. There's all these stories. I won't bore you with that. But he came there to find out he was the rightful heir to be the Egyptian leader. And I'm telling Tammy about that. Our dog found this sacred spot where the temple was. We had this old dog that traveled with us, and she's sitting there. The poor guy's like, "Wow, that's the temple of Amun. She's got the spot." We have that here. If you look at the pictures, and all Steve and all y'all and Lee knew, whether it was her classroom or office, there's a sacred spot on this campus where you can be truthful, you can get guidance, you can get advice, and most importantly, you got unconditional love, same as you gave her children. That spot's not gone. It's with every one of us, right here. And I will take that with me, and I will walk away with this knowing the sacred spot, Tammy Skinner, is in all of our hearts, here, and so many other people. Thank you, Bill, for the honor, Annalie, Charlie, Clay. Thanks for calling me headmaster, man. Appreciate it. You know?
Whenever I'm called upon to speak words of wisdom, I have to turn to greater minds to find the words. I turn today to that genre of literature that best fits my intellect, the bumper sticker. Two of my all-time favorites that come to mind during this week. The first is the iconic representation by Art Crumb of Mr. Natural. Just passing through. This image was created in the 60s as a plea to the locals that it is not necessary to beat the snot out of the long-haired hippie that has the poor judgment to drive through rural Missouri in 1968. In the years since, and especially this week, it has taken on a more profound meaning. The second is also from the lovey-huggy hippie days. Love is the answer. Now what's the question? Tammy's departure has reminded us that we're all just passing through. While passing through, we daily, minute by minute, decide how we will spend our time and how we will deal with other humans. We have been privileged to share some time with Tammy. There can be no doubt about how she chose to spend her time. It's not just Bill and Annalie and Charlie that are Tammy's legacy. We're all her legacy. Do as Tammy taught and as she demonstrated for us to do. Please rise. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every throne. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay like Tammy, forever young. Thank you, Bill, Charlie, and Anna Lee, and the rest of the family for sharing her with us. Thank you all for being here to honor Tammy. thank you all for being here to celebrate Tammy. Thank you very much.